All across college football, there are unbelievable stories to every player. Stories of players overcoming heartbreak, triumph, and a whole lot more. This past Saturday, in the first game of the 2020 season, redshirt freshman DeJuan "The Miracle" Mathis got the start for the Georgia Bulldogs. He did this just 16 months after having emergency brain surgery. Before we get to today's video, make sure to click that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. If you're a college football fan, this is definitely the place for you. Mathis was a hot commodity from an early age. In the 8th grade, he received scholarship offers from Akron and Cincinnati. He played his high school ball at Oak Park High School in Michigan. He had offers from Kentucky, Iowa State, and many more. In February of 2017, he committed to Iowa State. A few months later, he attended an Ohio State camp. 5 days after attending the camp, he decommitted from the Cyclones. In the meantime, he received offers from Pittsburgh and Michigan State. He committed to the Spartans in September of 2017. Then, in May of 2018, that offer from Ohio State came in. He took an official visit to Ohio State on June 22, 2018. Just 2 days later, he decommitted from Michigan State and committed to Ohio State. That December, he'd switched schools for the final time, decommitting from Ohio State and committing to Georgia. He was an early enrollment in January of 2019. Mathis said that the Buckeyes did what they could to keep him, going so far to tell him that they were not talking to eventual Buckeyes transfer Justin Fields. "I called before I went in to sign. I had the papers from both schools in front of me," Mathis said. "I asked if they were talking to Justin Fields, and I got a no." Mathis, however, said all signs on social media suggested otherwise. He was originally enticed by Georgia during an unofficial visit in July of 2017. It was a quick stop by recruiting standards, but it served a purpose. It was a visit DeJuan always kept in the back of his mind for reasons he couldn't explain until the circumstances played out. Mathis got a prime chance to showcase his talents to coaches and fans at the 2019 G-Day game in Sanford Stadium. Mathis didn't know this at the time, but it would become the most important game of his life, providing a moment he would often reflect on. "I just think, wow, I really took this for granted. None of this is promise. These people around me, I would have never seen them again." Mathis looked good in the scrimmage, as he went 15 of 28 for 113 yards. He looked as if he would put his name firmly in the conversation to be the backup behind Jake Fromm. "He brings another element," Kirby Smart said after the scrimmage, "because he has some really good legs and really good feet. We might even mix him in at wideout." Mathis went to work in the offseason, fully intending on winning the number 2 spot on the roster, where he'd sit and learn behind Jake Fromm. Here's what Fromm had to say that spring. "Man, he's explosive. I think he's converted 3 or 4 first downs in a row with his legs. That guy can run the ball. He can throw it 70 yards. He's going to be a great player." Then, on May 23, 2019, everything nearly changed. Mathis was experiencing severe head pain, and the Georgia medical team took him to the emergency room. Doctors then discovered a brain cyst that could burst at any moment. Just over a month after taking the field for G-Day, Mathis underwent emergency brain surgery to remove the cyst. Just a few days after the surgery, he tweeted this: "Dog Nation, I'm good. Thanks for checking on me. I'll be back sooner than ever, and better never question God's timing. Major setback for a major comeback. And to my teammates, keep working. I can't wait to play football again. Go Dogs." Here's what Terrence Mathis, DeJuan's father, had to say. "The doctors are moving DeJuan along slowly, but we realized DeJuan could have died with the sort of operation he had, so we feel really blessed. The doctor said the fact he's been cleared to work out just 6 weeks after surgery is amazing, and it typically doesn't happen like this. We thank God for Ron Corson's expertise and his medical team, because without them, I don't think all this would have been possible for DeJuan. I believe Georgia saved my son's life." Walking, balancing, running, as well as testing and exams became a daily part of Mathis's life as he worked to get back to rejoining the team by the start of fall drills. The life-threatening events stayed fresh in DeJuan's mind as he viewed his comeback to football as an opportunity to make the most of his life. Mathis was released from intensive care 4 days after the surgery. He lost more than 10 pounds and knew he'd have a battle ahead to get him back into football shape. "He's been so resilient, earned the respect of so many people with the way he managed it and the way he came back from it and the way he worked last year," Kirby Smart said. "He's been a model of consistency in terms of staying the course and continuing to work. A lot of the stuff has been out of his control." Mathis joined practice in the second half of the 2019 season. In November, he assumed the role of scout team quarterback. There was, however, no spot on the bus for road games, and that was challenging for him. Mathis contemplated leaving the team before the Missouri game in November, before on second thought, trusting his father's judgment to stay with the team and trust the process. "I want the public to know this. Please write this. Georgia could have given up on my son, but instead, Kirby and his staff have treated DeJuan as though he was their own son. They've used every possible resource to stay behind him and keep him engaged with the team after saving his life. So, DeJuan decided to stay. It got me excited," then freshman linebacker Nolan Smith said. "We always say you've got to get excited for your brother. It's something that we love to do. Football almost left him, and he was able to capture that again. I was just excited and happy he was out there running again." All those reps on the scout team allowed Mathis to face somewhat live competition. It's not a perfect game situation, but going against one of college football's elite defensive units is enough to sharpen any quarterback's skills. Mathis already already had the opportunity to learn from Jake Fromm, one of the better quarterbacks in the entire country. Once Fromm declared for the NFL draft, it looked like Mathis would finally get his opportunity, but then Jamie Newman transferred from Wake Forest. And then JT Daniels followed, coming in from USC. In addition, freshman Carson Beck also joined the room as the latest hotshot quarterback recruit. Add that to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's easy to see how Mathis could become the forgotten man in Athens. Still, he made sure that the coaches knew what he could do while away from the team due to the virus. He was constantly sending the staff videos of himself throwing on his own to stay sharp. Jamie Newman opted out of the season due to COVID concerns, with JT Daniels, who was practicing with the team and taking reps with first teams, had yet to been fully cleared for contact. Suddenly, just like that, Mathis found himself as the potential frontrunner to start for Georgia in the season opener. He received the lion's share of first-team work in the team's third scrimmage, although Smart said that's just how the quarterback rotation happened to fall on that given day. It's easy to tell when his teammates speak that they are thrilled for Mathis to be in this position. They've seen him battle back from a life-threatening situation to now being on the verge of starting a quarterback for one of the nation's top programs. Mathis defied the odds and was named the starting quarterback and kicked off the season for the Georgia Bulldogs in 2020. Georgia won the game at Arkansas 37-10, but not before Kirby Smart decided to make a switch at the quarterback position. Now, Mathis looked good on the opening drive, but things then went downhill for a penalty-plagued offense. No one is going to give you plays on 2nd and 15 and 2nd and 20. It's just not going to happen. Not all the things that went wrong were DeJuan's fault. I know a lot of people will blame him, fans, media, or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's on all of us to get it right. It's not all on the quarterback, but to the average fan's eye, I get it. There will be criticism. Mathis went 8 of 17 for 55 yards with an interception after starting the game and re-entering the game in the fourth quarter. You got a route that a guy versus zone is supposed to sit, and in man, he's supposed to break in, and then he doesn't do it. Sometimes that can throw things off. That's what appeared to happen on Mathis's interception at the Arkansas 5-yard line in the first half. Freshman receiver Jermaine Burton failed to sit in the empty portion of the field where Mathis threw the ball. For many casual fans, it looked like an errant throw, but in reality, Mathis threw the ball where he was supposed to, and Burton broke in after misreading the coverage. He tried everything, but he exited the game after failing to generate any offensive points on Georgia's first 6 drives, his team trailing 7-2 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. We were on the headphones and we talked. We were struggling offensively and didn't have a lot of rhythm. We felt like we needed to change things up. We just thought it would give us some energy, give us some things that Stetson Bennett could do well. He's different than DeJuan with some of his experience, and it gave us a spark. It helped us out. Bennett went 20 of 29 passing for 211 yards with 2 touchdowns. When Mathis re-entered the game at the 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter, the Bulldogs were already leading 34-10. I got a lot of confidence in all of our quarterbacks, and I still have confidence in DeJuan. We didn't execute well, and it's not his fault. Regardless of who the quarterback is, we can't hold people. We can't line up in the backfield. We can't jump off sides. We can't turn the ball over. So a lot of that doesn't have to do with the quarterback position. Whether DeJuan Mathis starts another game for Georgia this year remains to be seen. JT Daniels has been cleared and will likely be the starter this weekend. As we saw this past weekend though, it doesn't necessarily matter who starts the game. Kirby Smart won't be hesitant to make a switch if he feels another quarterback gives his team a better chance to win the game. DeJuan Mathis will get another opportunity. There's no question about that. Whether that's coming in at the end of a blowout, starting for Georgia, or maybe starting for another team. Whatever his next opportunity is, it'll be just the next chapter in his miracle story.